Hey, what's up, everybody? Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend and also a great week. I know Friday was Amazon was one of the top plays just to end up the week very strong. So I think everybody got a piece of Amazon. I saw some people didn't. If you didn't, it's all good. No big deal. But this thing just ran. I mean, the entry point was about right here, 33.12. And then from there, we just ran to 33.90. It was like legit nonstop on the 15. And then we ended up hitting that 34.10. So broke the psychological number 3,400, but it ran pretty nice. I know I did get a piece of that, so I don't care how much it ran. But the point is, everybody ended up getting a piece of that. I know everybody did. So congratulations if you did. If you didn't, don't worry. There's still a lot more tickers out there that we can trade. But anyways, let's start off the week with covering a few things. I do have a pretty heavy watch list, but I'm only going to post a few and give you guys a few here, just because I want the focus to be very strong. And I want you guys to focus on some of the swing trades and why I look at these. The explanation to some of this for the bases that are being created, the reversals, things to look for. They help with your day trades as well. So you guys all know I don't trade with indicators, price action trader, all supply and demand. And I like to look at the overall markets. I hold my futures. That's how I gauge in with a lot of my trades. And then also be aware of the volume, the volatility, the economic, news or just movements and shifting across sectors with earnings coming up. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going up. So you just got to be aware of the markets. And I think the best way to gauge in is some of the futures. And then again, if you're barely watching this, if you're new to the YouTube, go ahead and check out some of the past videos that are posted based on the future, supply and demand charting. I mean, all the above, right? Try to keep this as simple as possible and try to keep the entries and exit points as clear as I can be. And then also when I'm day trading, I'm not day trading weekly. Sometimes I am, but I do recommend next week's contracts or 2-week contracts out just so you can capture a better move. I know the percentage might not be as huge based on the weeklies if you compare them, but they do give you a safer and more comfortable trade because data doesn't go against you when it pulls back. So anyways, recap of the market real quick. We did base out right here at the levels that we talked about last week on the video. So if you go see, I did talk about this level being holding right here. If we did break above this 44.15 and then 20, we would head into this 44.50 and 44.60 level. And that's exactly what we did. We looked for a base down here. That's what we did on, what is this? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We just ended up popping and we had a nice gap up. Basically, we moved 100 points from 43.50 all the way to that 44.60. That's a nice $100 move, 100-point move, right? So hopefully some of you guys caught it. I know a lot of bulls came in, but look at the volume. The volume looks decent. Some of you are maybe wondering, like, how come it looks so low? Well, technically, it's not low. All the recent volume had to do with volatility. So volatility is a mixture of buyers and sellers coming in the market, and not just buyers and sellers, but also because, some event is happening that's shifting the markets and creating a lot of buying and selling pressure all across the board. Then again, it gives you no actual direction. That's what volatility is, and it gives you one solid direction just based on the volatility. But then it goes up and down, and that's what creates chop for a lot of people, and that's where a lot of traders lose a lot of money, and then that's where a lot of traders are not trading. Just because they're a lot more safer. And then some traders are trading weeklies, which they're taking 100s and 200 percentage plays here around those volatile moments, just because it's an options traders world. As you can see here, we slowed down in volume, but the good thing is that we did slow down with a nice trend. So it basically what happened is that the volatility died down. It went away. A lot of the fear went away. And a lot of the confidence came in where it's just like moving slowly but surely into something that's supposed to be trending properly, right? So that's kind of what happened here Thursday and Friday. So I guess some of you are wondering, how do we know if we're going to go bullish? Well, every time something breaks out, it does have to retest, guys. So don't be shocked if this thing gets a nice red candle down to this like 44.15, even this 44. If we do come down to this 44, like let's say Monday is super red, Tuesday we have a nice base down here. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will just come swinging right back up and create another little base. So kind of looking something like this, similar. I mean, otherwise, if we don't see this, it's not going to be a healthy move to the top side. We can't just, break and hit all-time high. I mean, technically we can, but I would prefer to see some red candles come in here right there to that 44 level just to retest this here. Okay, I want to test this piece here and then be able to look for dip buys. How would I be able to look for dip buys in the market? Well, look for things that are, downtrending and creating bases and maybe building patterns. Kind of like the same thing that we talked about last week. We talked about last week that we're in this level where we hit resistance and we closed here, and then we built a range here. So which is your pattern. We retested this 43.20 level. We held it, right, for a few days, even on the pre-markets. And then we ended up, just rocking all the way through with some decent volume. Okay, not major, not volatile volume, but just, back into its normal trend, meaning that like we're coming back bullish. So the healthy thing to see is a nice red candle on Monday, buy on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we just let it go sideways, slowly creep up and build another base up top. So as long as we can get that, it'll be a nice, healthy week. Don't expect, the break of that 44.80. If we do break 44.80, then I guess we're just gonna go into these all-time highs, right? But again, I want the healthier version. I want that pullback, so I can buy the dip down here and then just ride it back up. Okay, so that's for ES. NQ, same thing. Ended up bouncing right here, just like we talked about in the previous video. Ended up breaking right here, this 49. So if this thing again drops down here, it'll be a nice pullback. Any pullback in here would be nice, a nice red candle that can hold up the market. RTY is another one that we can watch, please. Again, I bring this up every video. It does have a nice pattern forming right here. This is a lot of resistance at the 23, okay? So from the 23 to 23.50, huge resistance, but it's building a lot of pressure here. As you can see, the wicks on both sides, and then all this resistance up here. We haven't been able to, creep up there, and we haven't been able to drop this either. So this thing can keep squeezing for another, like all the way into November if it wants, to December if it wanted to. It can just stay here, but keep those alerts, please, guys, at like the 23 to 23.50. If we can build some candle bodies up here, I think definitely we can see a nice breakout for RTY. Some of the tickers that you can look for the Russell are plug, run, and then look at the sentiment for airlines and financials. The sentiment for those will drive some of this. If all of those are green in one day, most likely go long on IWM. So Jets is at a retest level currently. It almost looks like we're flagging here. Okay, not a perfect flag, but either way you can still draw that trend line. And I like this because we did break out from this like 23.30 to 23.60. This was your supply zone that last time we talked about it, and we came down here, we retested it, so we ran ×2 right here on the breakout and on the dip buy. Good enough for all airlines to be able to dip buy for retest. So Jets is currently retesting this level. If we can hold here, even for the rest of the week, definitely go long. And then I'm going to be looking for the highs of 25.60 for Jets. And I'm not talking about like just this week alone, but the trend that's going to change and potential that it can build a base here, and the retest will confirm in this coming week and then start trending all the way up. So keep a lookout on Jets. Airlines, I think some of them do have earnings. I think some of them are done as well. So keep watch on that. Solar is the other one that's been doing very good. It actually broke out from this pattern here. This thing just ran aggressively. It got a lot of volume at these levels. So here, what you see on TAN, it's very simple actually. If you want to just keep looking at it, make sure that we hold this little base here. Okay. So as long as we can rally, this should be okay. But again, I think this still needs a retest down here of this 84 level, or just the trend line in itself, because right here it just like blew through. So lots of strength on solar. So make sure you guys keep track of solar. Okay. So anyways, let's go to the watch list. So it's going to be a couple of these tickers that I have right here on the side. If I don't go through them all, just make sure you guys search these out: Apple, Cat, Qualcomm, TSM, MUZ, Roblox, Walmart, FDX, Shop, PayPal, Facebook, Chewy, and GS, just some random one. But anyways, I have Apple here already set up and charted. We did break over this 144 and we head into that 145. So if we can come back into this 144, I think I would get a nice dip buy. Otherwise, we're going to look for the continuation. The first target's about 147 area. Second target's about 149 to 149.30. I wouldn't look so much for the 150 just because Apple it's not a huge mover anymore. And it's more of a slower out of the FANG stocks, but when it runs, you can definitely make a lot of money from the weekly contracts. So definitely look for Apple to continue its trend as long as it can hold this 144. And check out pre-market levels. If it can hold the pre-market levels, most likely will continue to trend back up, okay? Cat's the other one. This thing actually broke this nice little trend line. I tried right here and we couldn't. And then finally, if you guys watched that previous video, you guys will know exactly what happened to me with Cat. I was able to get out green on some of these contracts. I did end up taking a nice loss on some, but overall, ended up coming out pretty decent. But anyways, I do have buy the dip area for Cat. I really would love to see this retest down here, 196 level. I think the lowest I will go is 195. Other than that, I don't want it. And I am looking for the trend to continue. I think Cat's going to move a little bit slower, but we can definitely look for that 202. If we break that 202, guys, we're heading into the 204, all the way to like the 205.30 area. So just the retest of this this support that we have, and then we broke down. So I'm just kind of looking for the reversal on Cat. Qualcomm is the other one. I like Qualcomm more for a day trade, not for a swing trade. If it can break just this 130, I know it kind of closed barely right over it. So over 130 or 130.60 would be a nice breakout to the top. And then I have a bigger target of 134 and 134.50. So that's all I'm really looking for. Qualcomm, not looking for much after that. So buy the dip down here if we do reject that 128. TSM was the other one that was on the watch list. Unfortunately, this thing had a earnings last week, so I didn't have it on the list. But it was definitely at a great spot right here. And then we just kind of confirmed that we're still bouncing off this very strong level down here. Lots of demand, lots of support. So for this one, I'm just going to look for the break of 115. Or be able to buy the dip at 113. Below 113, I don't want it anymore. Like I said, if we can have a red Monday, I'll catch some of these dips into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then my first target would be around this 117. Of course, trail on the way, please, for anything, right? MU is another one. So here's the thing about MU. MU has been downtrending for quite some time now, and it looks like it's falling off a cliff, right? It did not hold its 69 level at all. And this is a weekly level. So because we closed down below, I want to have huge alerts because this thing can technically free fall all the way down to the bottom. There is no actual support all the way until 58.50 or even just psychologically 60, okay? And you can see there's no structure. The only structure that we had was right here at this 69 all the way to that like 73. So understanding that from the weekly time frame, what I want to see on something like this is for some good volume to come in and to actually hold this and to have the end of the week close over 70. Okay, that's all I'm really looking for, MU. I'm not really looking for anything else because if I do buy the dip down here and if I do create a starter position for a swing, I'm taking a higher risk because I know it looks like it's free falling already. So I don't want that to be a bear flag either. And I don't want to get caught in something like this, okay? So for me and my confirmation to reclaim this level, I want to make sure that we close over 70 just because the weekly candle will show a nice bullish candle, and that'll create a lot of buyers to come in. So I would rather take the confident entry and safer entry over 70, 70, 60, 71, and the 71.50. I think we'll start trending up. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep some alerts on MU. I'm not too much of a fan to day trade this just yet. But I'm also going to be aware that if there's any like news comings, upgrades, anything that can affect this stock to, you know, get that excuse to trend up, then I'll definitely keep my eyes on it. Only because it usually happens when they're at these major levels. So again, you need an excuse to actually, you know, ride back up, right? Z is another one. I know this one moves a lot more different. So the thing with this, the characteristics that the minute you enter, most likely you're going to be red because of the spreads. So this is not a ticker that you should trade if you're going to be emotionally unbalanced, right? If you can't handle being red on a little spread, then I don't recommend you trade this ticker. If you can handle some red and like a bigger percentage loss, depending on what your account size is, then by all means. Otherwise, just be careful trading this. I want to make sure we hold a 94. I like that it's built this huge range here. And then we got bought up down here between like below the 90 level. So anything above the 90 level, I think we can start hitting this 100 again. So basically from 90 to 100, if we can build that staircase pattern right here where we're at currently at 95, I want 94 to hold. 96 will be the breakout. The target's going to be 97.50 all the way to 97.80. And then from there, I'm looking for 99 all the way to 100. The 100 level is going to be that level to break and to create a new trend all the way back up. So as you can see, I have tons of levels right there. Alerts. Sorry, I have tons of alerts there. And I want to make sure that I catch it on the way up just because of this whole accumulation phase that's happening on the 4-hour time frame. And as you can see on the weekly, I know you probably can't see it as perfect, but right here, this nice green candle is built and we do have buyers down below 90. So like I said, if we can just hold above 90, I think Z can be a great starter position as well for a swing trade, just to start going long and to get some confirmation that we're trending right back up, right? So you just got to be careful choosing contracts, buy on red candles, don't buy on green ones, and then just ride this thing all the way to the top. Roblox is another one. This thing just currently broke a nice little downtrend. I think we're actually right above it. Not yet, we're right above it. So we broke on Friday as well. And I like it over that 77. Yeah, 77.30 area. Yeah, and then we have 78, 75, 79. We have 80 psychological, where people are going to talk about the gap. And then we have the 81 level where we can just start trending up. But I do like this Roblox for a nice swing trade. If you wanted to dip buy, I'd say 75.50 or 75. Dip buy anywhere around this level and just ride it all the way to the top, right? So very simple with Roblox. So Walmart's, FDX is the other ticker that I really like. We're heading into the holidays again, holiday season, and things are popping off again. FDX just had a crazy drop. I'm sure the RSIs are oversold like crazy. The structure to the downside was pretty aggressive right after the earnings. And what I like here is that we created this nice little base down here at like 219 all the way to this 226. I like the accumulation phase here. And we kind of closed right at resistance point, right? The resistance point is this 229 where we're currently at. And then the top would be 231.30. The 231.30 is like your confirmation to just go long because it's going to catch a nice green candle. And once we catch the nice green candle, it catches a lot of momentum. It catches a lot of traders' attentions, including retail investors, market makers, everyone in general. That's going to create a nice pop all the way to that 236. Psychologically, you want to look for 235 all the way to 236.50. And then psychologically 240 all the way into that like 241 level, right? Once we start heading into these levels, it'll catch more attraction just in the market in general from a lot of traders. and then we'll start heading into the 250 all the way to this 255. So as you can see, everything here is already planned out. I have my alerts right here already, just in case once these start hitting, I'll create the ones on top, and then I'll reset these to be able to buy the dip and just ride that staircase pattern up. So FDX contracts, if you want to look for some, I will let you know right now. For Monday, I think I'll probably going to get these 230 calls just to get some profits in. So that's what I'm going to be taking weeklies. Then I'm also going to try to enter this 230 all the way to 235 calls. As you can see, they're pretty cheap. So if you make some money off the weekly contracts, right? Let's just say, for example, you grab like, 10 contracts of the 230 calls or whatever, and then you make, about $300. You have enough to pay for that swing in profits, and it's all stress-free. Okay, so remember that. If you buy about 5 contracts, and let's just say you make about 200, you have enough for the 235 call for the swing play, and you're able to trade it and hold it stress-free, all right? So October 29th, I think the 5th, if you want to take a more safer route, I'll say the 235 calls would be decent, about 250, 260. These prices will adjust at open. So just the contracts that you potentially can swing trade, right? FTX is at a great spot, definitely good enough to start a position. Again, if this thing breaks though 219, then I wouldn't be in calls at all, right? Below 225, I wouldn't be in calls. I just want to make sure it's safe for entry right above and we hold. You're going to look for volume. You're going to look for good market sentiment. You're going to make sure UPS is trending up as well. And just look for upgrades, look for any news catalyst that may come in. So overall, we want to see a nice drive up on FDX. Chewy's another one that's just been getting smacked down lately. We're literally from 120 to this 90 and then to the 60, right? That's a huge drop for Chewy, right? But anyways, I don't like this for a swing trade much. I definitely like it for a swing day trade. If we can just hold this nice little trend line on Monday, break over to 63, 80, and 64, I'm going to take it long to 65 and 66. Keep it very simple. If it wants to keep on going, I'm definitely going to look for 67 and 67.50. But that's it for Chewy. Nothing too crazy. If it does continue to go and we create 2 bullish candles right here, if we can close by the end of the week, right inside here, then for sure it's going to catch a lot of attention then. Otherwise, it's just a nice little pattern that we have here. Nice little resistance at 64 entry all the way to that 60, 66. So that could be a nice, good little movement for a day trade, right? Facebook has earnings soon. A lot of the FANG have earnings. So I'm not really planning to swing trade any of these guys, but just look at the basic support and resistance for these. And you can definitely look for some good day trades because the IV is going to be juiced up on a lot of these, all right? So it's going to be Netflix that has earnings, so I would watch out for the sentiment on this. Watch things like Roku, watch things like Disney just to see what's going to be moving with that sector, just because it's more of the streaming and to see what they say. What Netflix says may affect Roku and Disney somehow, some way, shape or form. Who knows? It may or may not. But either way, you still want to be up to date on what is being said here after the earnings and how it's going to react for Disney and Roku. So for Roku, I can't really give much levels just because of the sentiment for Netflix. But definitely Roku does look like it's in a great spot either way. If you want a long over 330, by all means, I have all my alerts way up here too. I'm going to keep track of Roku, but it looks decent. Honestly, it just held this support right here at this 319, 320. And if it keeps on holding here, it's for sure just going to keep on trending up because it built a nice base down here. So Roku looks decent. And then Disney, a lot of resistance at the 179 and 180. Again, we're back at this range. So I have my alerts right above 180 just to see what it does. And but yeah, that's basically it for some of these shop. I really want to post shop, but it's a bigger ticker. I know a lot of you guys can't handle some of these, but if you do, 1430 would be long. 1440 to 14 what is this? This top up here, 1470, 1480. That's what I would be looking for, just like that. I really do like this setup though. And then PayPal I also like too right here. It's going to be a break above the 270 if you want to be safer, or the break below this like 268. But I want to buy the dip around 264.70, 264 area. My first target for PayPal is going to be 273.40, and then 278 areas. So very simple with PayPal. Actually, it's a break above or the break below off that yellow box, and I'm just using these candle 269.30 and then 268. So very simple for PayPal actually, but that's going to change pre-market. We don't know if we're going to gap up or gap down, but like I said, as long as we can have a nice red candle on Monday, that would be freaking awesome. And then be able to buy the dip somewhere down here, just in general, all over the board in the market. So some of these swings can be great. So make sure you guys keep those alerts, guys. Execute your trades and don't hesitate. Don't wait for anybody to tell you to get in or get out. The point is for you guys to be able to look at this weekly watch list, write down those levels maybe on one of your journals, a sticky pad, somewhere on your laptop, and make sure that you watch these things play out. If you're unsure to execute, at least watch it, at least set the alerts, watch those contracts move and see how you could have done a lot better, or see how you could have executed the trade one way or another. Try to get what you can out of this, and don't just use it to watch, use it to execute and take the initiative, make a change for once. All right, push yourselves, guys. Stay green, manage your risk, and then of course have a great week, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Message us, DM us, do whatever you guys got to do, get our attention. We're there. Follow us on social media, do whatever you guys can to stay up to date with conservative collectors. So good luck, guys. Hopefully you guys like the content that we've been recently posting. Hopefully some of you guys are taking in the knowledge as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon.